BamaCentral.com. I'm Joey Blackwell here with Tony Sukalis and Katie Wyndham, and this is the latest edition of Three and Out. There's obviously been a lot of talk around Alabama transfers that have come into the program this year, but today we're going to talk about those that have left and have departed to other programs. Today we're going to highlight some of the guys that we think are going to do the best at their new schools. We'll start with you, Tony. Who you got?
Look, I know that there's going to be a lot of people that go with different names, but the one that I just want to pick as a sneaky pick would be Javon Baker. Kentucky, they lose their top two receivers. They don't have anybody, especially Wan'Dale Robinson, who was such a difference maker for them. They don't have anyone that returns with more than 200 yards. Receiving, having a guy like Javon Baker with a quarterback like Will Levis, who I think is going to be a little bit better, might be a sneaky pick. I know there's different guys, there's more talented guys, maybe like Drew Sanders or Jaleel Billingsley, or Shane Lee is another good one. But I think I'm going to go out on a ledge and pick Javon Baker.
Yeah, I like that pick. That's someone that could be a good program for him. He's coming from a stacked wide receiver room all the way to Alabama to a place like Kentucky where he can shine. And so I think someone that has a chance to have a big year that you just mentioned is Jaleel Billingsley at Texas. We saw at the end of the 2020 season his potential with Alabama, and everyone had really high expectations going into him for 2021. Obviously, those did not work out super well. There was a couple off the field issues with him. And so maybe just what he needs is a fresh start, and he'll be reuniting with Steve Sarkisian at Texas, who, was his offensive coordinator in 2020. And I think there's still question marks at Texas about who their quarterback's going to be, but having a tight end, Nick Saban talked all last year about what kind of mismatches tight ends can be. And Jaleel Billingsley is that type of guy that he can maybe help a quarterback out with his size and athleticism at that position for the Longhorns this year, which, Alabama will play them that second week in September. So that, of course, will be an interesting matchup as well.
Well, both of you guys picked players on the offensive side of the ball. I'm going to pick a defensive player and linebacker Drew Sanders. I think Drew Sanders fits in very well at Arkansas with Barry Odom's defense, and Lord knows that Sam Pittman is excited to see another gritty, tough-nosed guy on his team. Sanders played in 11 games his freshman year and then 12 games his sophomore year, in a very crowded linebacker room, had 16 total tackles, and he also had a sack and 2.5 tackles for loss. But he was the number one overall recruit out of the state of Texas for a reason. And no doubt the Arkansas Razorbacks were really excited to have him on their roster. For BamaCentral.com, I'm Joey Blackwell with Tony Sukalis and Katie Wyndham. Thank you so much for watching Three and Out.